Tonight on Golf Central, for the first time in his young career, Justin Thomas is the man to beat. The odds makers have him at the top of the list. This week in the Valspar Championship, more on JT ahead.
Plus, you'll find out why the reigning Open champ is already conceding his spot in the WGC Dell Match Play and the changes he's proposed to the event.
Well, it's called the Copperhead course, and, well, it can be a bit venomous. Coming up, we'll tell you the top 3 ways that it can take a bite out of players' scorecards.
And we have all the details on how Arnold Palmer will be honored during next week's tournament that bears his name. It's all ahead on Golf Central.
Golf Central. Brought to you by Titleist.
It did not take Justin Thomas long to make his mark on the PGA Tour, already a 4-time winner at the age of 23. Even more impressive, 3 of those happened this season, which is the most for any player on tour at this point in the schedule.
Yeah, JT in a great spot already. Remember, a year ago, Jason Day, Dustin Johnson each tallied 3 wins, which tied for the lead on the PGA Tour for the entire season. Welcome into Golf Central. George Savarickas, Lisa Cornwell with you.
It says a lot about where his game is, with the odds makers labeling him as the favorite this week in the Valspar Championship, a career first for the Kentucky native. Thomas will open his week playing alongside his good friend Daniel Berger and Steve Stricker. They tee off Thursday at 12:35 Eastern Time. For more on JT, we take you live to Innisbrook Resort and Golf Club, where Chantel McCabe joins us live with the very latest. Hi, Chantel.
Hey, Lisa. Yeah, FedEx Cup points leader Justin Thomas not getting the start to the week that he wanted. He had to withdraw from today's Pro-Am, saying he wasn't feeling well. He sent out this tweet this morning saying he was disappointed he didn't get to play due to flu-like and sinus symptoms. He said that he hopes that rest and medicine will have him ready to play tomorrow. But a lot of caddies, coaches, and media members all have been sick over the past week. It started at the WGC Mexico Championship last week and has apparently followed players to Florida and here at the Valspar Championship. You mentioned that Justin Thomas will be playing with Daniel Berger tomorrow. Daniel Berger also had to withdraw today, and so did Kevin Na. Both of them are sick as well. All 3 of them do plan to play tomorrow. Lisa?
Chantel, thank you very much. Trip Eisenhower with us now to kind of dive in a little bit more about JT. I mentioned that he is the odds-on favorite this week for the first time in his career. What do you think about his chances?
Look, he's playing fantastic golf. There's no question about that. He's leading the tour in birdie average, averaging 5.3 birdies per round. It's hard to play poorly when you're scoring that many under par. The bad news for him is here at this golf course, it's the toughest golf course to make birdies on last year that wasn't a major championship. So extremely difficult golf course for him. The one thing here that it will handcuff him in a couple of ways. We know how long he hits the ball. He's very long off the tee, but he's got to put the ball in the fairway. These fairways are very narrow. There's some slope to them as well. There's some countering slopes. We're going to get into a little bit more of that coming up in the show, but he's only hitting about 54% of the fairway. So, yeah, the distance is there, and we've seen long hitters win here. The key for him is going to be finding the fairway, because I think every other part of his game is in good shape. The other good news for him, though, Lisa, is he can throttle back a little bit. You can hit some 3-woods and some long irons off the tee.
All right, it's going to be fun to watch him. For more on another young superstar in that trio, let's go over to George.
All right, Lisa, I'm with our insider, Golf Channel insider Tim Rosafort. So Justin Thomas, Daniel Berger, they're going to see a lot of each other next couple days. They've got Steve Stricker also in that group. Could be a little President's Cup preview, possibly. What would making that type of team mean to Daniel Berger?
Well, Berger put himself in position last year for the Billy Horschel pick at East, like you remember, but Ryan Moore simply outplayed him over the course of 4 days. Davis Love knew who he was. He brought him up to Hazeltine for a practice round middle of September. Also up there the week of the tournament, actually played with the team on the Monday. So you know that Davis knew who he was. Also, Berger knows who Rory McIlroy is, who Jordan Spieth is, who Jason Day is. He told me that none of those guys scare him. That's when he thrives in situations like that. And he certainly did last year in Memphis when he got his first PGA Tour win, because the guys he beat that day, Phil Mickelson, Steve Stricker, who obviously gets to know him a little bit this year, Brooks Koepka, and Dustin Johnson. So this is a kid that likes the big-time heat. He's got that competitive edge. He is perfect for match play. And ultimately, he's going to be a regular both on President's Cup teams and Ryder Cup teams.
And you figure he's a guy who would love to join a President's Cup or Ryder Cup and possibly play with a Patrick Reed type. Patrick Reed's not necessarily an up-and-comer. He's a guy who's trying to turn the corner, win that first major of his. He's playing in the same group as a couple guys who have majors attached to their resume. Jim Furyk, past U.S. Open champ, and Ernie Els, a 4-time major winner. For Reed to be back at the Valspar Championship, a place he's had success, puts him in a good frame of mind.
Yeah, you know, it gives me a lot of confidence. You know, we've been doing a lot of work. This year hasn't been quite how I've wanted it so far to start, but I feel like we're trending in the right direction. Feel like things are falling into place, and you know, never a better place to start than here, where you know, I've had a lot of success because, you know, with tough golf courses, you have to be a shot maker, and you have to, you know, think right off the tees and off of iron shots, and I feel like that's pretty much a good strength of mine, and that's why I love this place.
And one more group to highlight. How about this major winning trio off at 7:56 on Thursday? Charles Schwartzel, he's the defending champion. An amateur partner hit his wrist with a ball today. He had to withdraw from the Pro-Am, but is expected to play tomorrow. Bubba Watson seeking his first top 10 this season, now number 16 in the official world golf ranking. And Henrik Stenson, he WD'd after 11 holes in the WGC Mexico Championship, and he says he will not play in the next WGC, the Dell Technologies match play, in a couple weeks.
The scheduling is a big part of it. I wasn't not that keen on the round robin. I suggested actually the other week, I said if you still want to keep the guys, guarantee that you keep them there for a while, you could always look at that option of British Am, US Am format of playing a couple of rounds stroke play, and then that would lead you into the seeding and maybe a 32 bracket or something like that, and you could potentially even put another couple of guys in the field if you want to start with, and then you get making sure that everyone's around for a little bit. But just to me, match play is do or die. I either win or I lose, and I kind of like that format. But given I want to play the week before Augusta. I've played in the Middle East. I've had a couple of weeks off, and then I need to pick up some pace and play a few tournaments, and then I have this stretch here of 3 weeks, and then I need a breather at some point, and that's the week that I need to take off then. So, you know, like I said, you're not going to have everyone playing every week.
Yeah, look, and it is difficult for these guys to decide when they want to play. And look, every tournament out there is a big one, but he did mention the round robin.
Yeah,
there we go. I'll get it. Round robin format. He's not a fan of it. Do you like it?
I do. I thought the changes have been good. I like the seeding and the way the 16 get and the ping pong balls and throwing things around. I definitely like it. What I don't like is how close together these WGCs are. They are elevated in stature on the PGA Tour, and I think the match play is a huge part of it. I understand why Henrik is skipping it. I think if they were further apart and maybe a little further away from the Masters, you would see Henrik playing this despite the format. That's the thing for me. I think the Tour ought to look at possibly going to the WGC Mexico right after L.A. and then having a true Florida swing. Even Jack Nicklaus has said that.
That's in the discussion that I've heard, Tripp. I'm told, though, it's not going to happen in 18. It might happen in 19, but not anytime soon. Bigger picture, and I'm interested in your take as well. I'd like to see the Florida swing restored again. There's something that was disruptive. While it was a home run going down to Mexico, not only from who won it, but the people that were there and the optics and the energy and all that stuff, I think it's detracted or taken away a little of the momentum going into Valspar. Great golf course. It's had stronger fields, let's face it. Also, Arnold's tournament on the back end of that. There's a lot of competition this time of year worldwide, and the two WGCs certainly don't help, but they were here before. I mean, they were at Doral and also last year down in Austin, Texas. I think ultimately it'll shake itself out when, hopefully, the Players' Championship returns to March, and then we fill the void in Florida. We got the fourth tournament for Florida, and then it almost doesn't matter where you go, what time you go down to Mexico.
Yeah, I mean, that is the thing. I mean, these WGCs so early and so close together. I'm in agreement with you. I like the true Florida swing. I like having all the tournaments here. And yes, I understand the players switching to May, but I definitely liked it better back in March as well.
Just to have more atmosphere in May. More people. I'm sorry, April.
Yeah.
Sorry, March.
March, exactly.
Lisa,
yeah.
you're worrying off.
Round robin.
Well, I
It seemed like it had more momentum in March. More people attended. It was more of a party and more electricity. You can't debate the winners, though, that it's had in May.
No, you cannot. Absolutely. But the other thing too is, I mean, this is the tough. This is the conundrum that Jay Monahan and the PGA Tour has, because every tournament wants their slot, and it's really tough to move things around. You know, last year for the Olympics, they had to move things around and things got a little crazy. But I definitely think they're on it. They understand this. I think they're aware of it. But like you said, their hands are tied, at least in 18, but maybe 19 we'll see some changes.
Say round robin 3 times.
No.
I bet Savaricas can.
Oh, you better believe it, Lisa. Let's take a look at Henrik Stenson, Patrick Reed, and Justin Thomas taking on a tough field and an even tougher course in the dreaded Snake Pit. No, it's not a round robin. Coverage of the Valspar Championship begins tomorrow, 1 o'clock on Golf Channel, continuing Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern on NBC. I still owe you 2. We're just getting started tonight. A year ago, we needed extras to crown Charles Schwartzel. Who does our expert think will win this year? Plus, the Copperhead usually provides a stern test for the best on the PGA Tour. Will this year be different? Hear from the guys in the field. And it'll be a week to reflect, remember, and celebrate the legacy of the King. Find out what the Arnold Palmer Invitational is doing to honor the legacy of Arnold Palmer. That's next.
Golf Central is brought to you by the new Titleist Pro V1 and Pro V1X. Choose the best for your game. Golf Now, millions of tee times, free GPS, and more. Download today.